Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John, here, my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
Dan, I'm never going back again to the north of England. It's nothing but misery and cold.
It's true what they say, isn't it?
Grim.
It's grim up north.
Flipping heck. Listeners, if somehow you've missed it...
You haven't.
You haven't. You were there too. 8,000 of us. 8,000.
So much so that some people are listening to this probably deliberately to laugh at.
Yeah, if you've come to laugh, bad luck, because it's not funny and we're not going to say anything funny.
No, like as usual.
That's standard kind of stuff. Yeah. So 8,000 of us were there. Apparently Pep was there, didn't see him. Erling was there.
Suspended, of course.
Suspended. Erling was there.
10-1. Let's get to the nub of things.
10-1. The worst result in England for over 40 years of professional football.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's on our permanent record now. That's happened.
If any way we could steam our name off our permanent record and, put Doncaster on it instead. Yeah. I'd take it.
So we were saying our only hope now is that they draw Macclesfield in the fourth round and beat them 11-1.
11-0, please.
Yeah.
Should we talk about it? Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So we all went up. Some of you went up the night before. Some people went on the train the night before. Some people went on the coach that morning. We drove.
There was travel hell, wasn't it?
It seemed to be.
It could have been worse. I think there was all trains cancelled on the day before.
Because of the snow.
Yeah, because of the snow in the Midlands. There was accidents on the motorway.
Yeah, car fire.
But nothing could stop. No divine intervention could stop 8,000 Grecians from witnessing that.
Yeah, that's right. And we were buoyed. We were hopeful until we saw the team sheet.
We were up there. Everyone's in the car. You drive up on a train. You're eating your sandwiches. You're having a drink.
Yeah.
You're, in our case, checking out the new Morrissey single. Fitting, of course, being the home of the once great man. Is that true? Was he ever a great man? He was a great singer.
Yeah. Not no more.
Blimey, I'm not sure what's worse. The new Morrissey single,
yeah.
or losing 10-1.
It's a really bad single.
It's terrible.
Yeah. No wonder that they just play Oasis songs at the Etihad. No Morrissey to be heard.
Yeah.
It's Johnny Marr, a Manchester United supporter, isn't he?
Is he?
I think that's right. And Stone Roses were too.
I know some of the Stone Roses are Man United fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manny definitely is, and Ian Brown.
And John Squire.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
Well, yeah. We're not sure about
that's
Rennie.
what they play. They get Stone Roses. At the Etihad, they get Oasis. At St James Park, we get Freed from Desire by Cascade.
Well, what's the other one, that Faithless one they keep playing now?
Oh, yeah, Insomnia.
Yeah. In a way, given that, there are some famous musicians from this neck of the woods,
yeah,
maybe it's better that they don't get played at the football because they're not, shit, aren't they?
Good analysis.
What I was going to say was it's a good thing we don't get Cole playing it because, who wants to listen to that?
Sure.
And they don't really like football. They strike me.
No, they're not a football.
They strike me as rug a lot.
They're not a football band, are they? Anyway,
let's get back onto
it. So we listened to Morrissey, we got stuck in some traffic. We still got there in time, as everyone else seemed to as well. Hats off to Sam and Jack, who left about 4 hours after us and got there exactly the same time as us.
Yeah.
Then everyone gets in. Looks great, doesn't it? Everyone you've ever met is there. Even if you never see her. I didn't see any of my friends. I saw some, actually. But, they're all texting you from around the ground. You think, this is a thing to be part of. This feels like, feels a bit like when you're at Wembley or whatever. And it's an impressive place, isn't it? Blimey. But it feels like going to a pop concert. I now understand what FIFA, the computer game's been doing all these years. It's emulating that. I've always thought this is weird, what they're trying to do.
Why? What do they do on that?
It's all like players looking moody at the camera and that.
Oh, I see.
And now I see all the Man City
Which
player
came first,
intros.
the chicken or the egg?
Well, I don't know, but flipping heck, that's madness. They read out the City, if you missed it, if you weren't there, they read out the City squad. Number 1, Joe Whitworth. Number 2, they go through the team like that. And then Man City, I know it's their team, but it's like an 8-second video for each player pouting at the camera, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Semenyo only joined yesterday. They still managed to record that. Let's get the priorities right. Let's get him looking moody at the camera for the content.
I mean, you know, like before we get to the football, the experience itself.
Avoid it.
Yeah, it was. You know, it's a bit different. It's a day out. It's an experience to go to a completely different type of venue than we're used to. Obviously,
yeah.
I've always kind of had this comparison in my head of with football with going to like a gig, watching a band, or you go sometimes to watch some big thing at a stadium, some stadium gig, right, or something, and it's kind of like. You know, you do get to see the big stars by doing that, but everything about it is all the kind of good stuff is gone. You know, it's like hard to get tickets for. It's a rigmarole getting in.
Yep.
It's too big. There's no atmosphere. There's no intimacy.
You very much feel like
you don't feel like you're part of the experience necessarily, and it's exactly the same with the football. When you go to watch a small gig in a small club or something, the complete opposite's true.
It matters that you're there at a small gig or at Exeter City. So
it's just that's the parallel. And I think, well, obviously, I prefer going to watch a band in a small club. I prefer going to watch football in a small thing. You can, at St James's Park, you can just decide on the day if you want to go. You can go and stand wherever you like. You can meet up with your mates easily before. You can get there easy. I don't know.
Because presumably I never went. I'm too young, I guess. In the old days when it was terraces, even if you go into Old Trafford or Anfield or Main Road or whatever, some of the stuff that's true about going to see Exeter City now was still true then. It's as they've turned it into these corporate things.
Yeah.
It's
not merely the kind of like stadiums themselves
or the size of the team.
Yeah, it's the kind of it's how football's changed into this kind of like big show.
Yeah,
it's a big show.
It was a big show, and so they're all there. I mean, literally, the footballing equivalent of Taylor Swift's there. Looks a bit like her. Erling Haaland, Rodri's there starting.
Well, yeah, we were looking at. I was reading on the way up the Manchester Evening News predicted lineup, which was written the day before, and none of that. Like Rodri, because he's come back from this injury he's had for a long time. They want to get him minutes and stuff, so they think he's likely to play. And they said about Semenyo because it's a good way to get your debut in it. But there was no mention of no one was predicting Haaland to play or Cherky or but they all did. So
on
to the football itself.
Sure.
Well, a couple of points first for us. There's no Piers Sweeney. He's suspended.
Yes.
Accumulating too many yellows. He'd have been gutted about that, and I feel bad for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
If anyone deserves a kind of big day out.
Yeah.
And no Jack McMillan.
Yeah.
Who I think is it confirmed he had a bit of an injury?
He's injured. So he's on the bench because they needed the numbers on the bench, basically.
Yeah.
So obviously they're two experienced players. What we should mention, I suppose, before this, Dan, is just after we'd recorded last week's podcast, the Trust published a letter that they'd sent to Manchester City asking for all the gate money.
Yeah.
So as you know, probably in FA Cup games, 45% of the gate receipts goes to each club, 10% goes to the FA.
After costs.
After cost. So they asked if we could have the 90%, and Manchester City said no.
Yeah. I've never, it does happen fairly often.
So Macclesfield were given the Crystal Palace money, weren't they?
The bigger team will volunteer to give the money to the other team. Yeah. Now, I don't know whether Macclesfield asked on the sly if that was possible. And they go, good bit of PR for you.
Square crumpets for life. If you recall the Silkmen Cafe, Macclesfield, say that.
Free entry, well, it's obviously free entry to a cafe, but
say to Jean-Philippe Mateta, do you like a square crumpet, Jean?
Yeah.
And he says, oui, monsieur.
If you don't know what we're on about, you have to go back about 5 years of this podcast when we were in the same league as Macclesfield.
Yes.
So I think Sol Campbell was the manager.
That's right.
And we talked quite a lot about the Silkmen Cafe.
Which is the club cafe.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not important. Exeter made this...
Well, hold on. If that's not important, what the hell is important?
Us embarrassing ourselves on a national scale twice in 24 hours?
Back to the agenda.
So the Trust put this thing out, and then the Man City said no. It's quite humiliating, isn't it? to ask and then be told no. I suppose they're thinking, well, you don't ask, you don't get. And maybe they're thinking, oh, it could be the difference between us, keeping a player and selling a player, or letting, it could be between a redundancy or not redundancy. So they would probably say that. However, just from an optics point of view, I think it didn't look great.
No, I think...
Why do they have to make it public?
Why do they make it public?
That feels like to me that the only reason to make it public is to put pressure onto Man City.
If I'm being even more conspiratorial, they already asked and they said no in private.
And they thought, well, let's try a bit of this then.
Try a bit of shaming.
And they're thinking, we'll mention the old club-owned, supporter-owned kind of thing. Didn't work.
I said this in... I don't know if I said this on the podcast or not. I feel like the Taggy ambassadorial role has drifted away from us. We've not seen much of Taggy at the moment. I don't know if he's doing less. I don't know if he's... Whatever. There must be conversations that go on at boardroom level, like the old what used to happen, like the conversation between club hierarchies before the game or at half time or after the game. That was an opportunity for us. We've got no connection to Manchester City at all, as far as I can tell. Never played them before.
Alan Ball's the only link, really.
Sure.
Buster Phillips.
Yeah, sure. Okay, fine. So those are 30-year-old links. Would that not have been an opportunity to say, look, we're struggling here. If you could ever send us... I mean, that 16-year-old that played from, 17-year-old played from, if he could come for us for the rest of the season, for example, I don't know, was that the kind of thing that we could do? Instead, we've just written this embarrassing... We've made public this embarrassing thing, which was never going to work. The public thing meant it was never going to work.
Oliver Twist, kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think so. I mean...
Because
especially when it didn't work. I've just never seen it done. I know I'm not across every single thing that happens in football. Maybe it has been done. I can't remember a time when the teams... I can think of loads of times where the other team's offered to give it to them and it looks good for them. I can't remember anyone asking.
I even think, what if they'd done a big thing saying, 21 years ago, our club was saved because of an FA Cup third round replay. It's put us back onto the road to recovery. We implore the FA to think about how they can help support smaller clubs now that they've got rid of replays. So not put it on Man City at all. They could have done a public thing like that, and everyone would be like, yeah, you're right, that is bad for lower clubs. Instead it's just like, oh, we've messed up. Can we have some money, please, Manchester City?
Yeah. You've got loads, so can we have some?
Yeah. Oh, dear. I think it was ill-advised.
Yeah. I wasn't consulted.
No, nor me. Anyway... We get to the game.
That's embarrassment number one. Yes, we get to the game. An hour before we find out Haaland's playing.
It's a bit of a concern. I have to say, I was a bit concerned by that.
I suppose that'd be the same if you're Jack Fitzwater and et al. You're also finding out then.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? I thought it was going to be a kid.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a really good, quick kid.
Yeah.
Who, if I, kept off for 60 minutes, would get taken off for another quick, good kid.
Anyway, in a nutshell, the match happened and Erling Haaland didn't score. So then what were you worried about? Didn't matter.
That there is some truth to that.
Didn't matter. He did nothing.
It's worth saying this. About 3 minutes in, is it Fitzwater, did we decide, or is it...
No, it was Oates.
Oates.
Believe it or not.
Hits the...
One of the smallest people on the pitch, I'd say.
Hits the crossbar with a header from the corner.
Yeah. Was it that soon in?
Very soon in.
Right.
Their goalkeeper's James Trafford, who's presumably a bit rusty because he's hardly played. Anyway, it didn't matter. He saved it. And you think, oh, goodness, we're going for it then. And we did go for it. Like, we continued to play forward-facing football.
Well, we had a few chances on the counter, basically. They just sort of had the ball.
Yeah.
And we tried to get it off them. Mostly unsuccessfully, but a few times we did get it, and then we managed to sort of make a few kind of runs into their half, and then the first goal went in, and that was the end of that, really, wasn't it?
Was the end of that, because it all followed very quickly.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you've got to if you're getting 10 in.
Well, the goal every 10 minutes, and they'd more than every 10 minutes. Yeah.
So we were 4-0 down at half-time.
Just goal after goal, basically. I mean, just before half-time, it was still 2.
Niskanen had a chance, I think, on 2-0. No, it was on 4-0, wasn't it? And he dragged it a bit wide. He was through on goal.
That was the start of the second half.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Wasn't it?
No, because we were attacking the other end.
Just before half time. Yeah, anyway, it's 4-0 at half time. We can't go through every single goal because there's literally too many and we've got other things to talk about.
What was disappointing, the players will be disappointed. There were some slightly silly own goals. They just couldn't get it out from under their feet. Or goals where...
Well, it's two things. Yeah, two things
player.
happened. Two things happened, which is one, we came up against some of the best players in the world and a team that played very well against us.
Yep.
But also on top of that, we made a load of stupid mistakes,
Yeah.
which we wouldn't even normally make when we're playing well. We have made plenty of the mistakes of that nature over the course of this season and previous seasons, but we just happened to make a load of them against a team who have got some of the world's best players and are playing really well, and there's two own goals. Is that right? I thought one of them came off Ake, but there's a few chances where we think, why don't you just clear that then? And I think that they will add into that the team were overawed.
They definitely were. You said when we were watching it, they're there the night before, aren't they? And they go out on the pitch.
There's
they
video,
get a tour basically, and you can just see.
Yeah, what I said was, and this was before the match, when I saw that video, we'd already lost. They're walking out and looking at the pitch, gawping at it, and fair enough, I'd be the same. I'm not having a go at them.
Yeah.
But I just think, oh right, yeah, no, not that we're ever expecting to win.
No.
No part of me is annoyed that we've lost. You'd have to be insane to think anything else. I know Maxwell beat Crystal Palace.
It's not the same.
They'd have to be insane to think that was going to happen.
When we gave Forest, was that a year ago? We played Forest.
Yeah. Well, a bit later because that was the fourth round, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we were on absolute top form. It was at St James Park. Colwell had a perfect plan. Forest weren't very good. It all kind of worked, and they still beat us. And that was really, they started beating us when their better players came on. Manchester City, Pep said, didn't he, in his interview, I watched the game against Cardiff, I watched the game against Huddersfield. This is a good team. That's what he said about City. So he obviously thought, well, we can't have any silliness here. I'm not having me losing this 1-0 and having to explain, like Oliver Glasner's having to do.
He's also just seen Crystal Palace get knocked out by National League South team, and thinking I'm not having that.
I'm not that guy.
And so, it was strange because Man City's kind of MO really over the years, and the reason why they don't score 10 more often is because usually when they get to about 6, they just knock the ball around at the back. But for some reason, and maybe it's to do with this embarrassing begging letter we'd sent them, but we can only speculate. For some reason, they decided to not do that. And at about 7-0, they brought on the double substitution of Bernardo Silva and Jeremy Doku.
Yeah.
So they were just sort of like, no, we're just going to keep going, just like punishing these, poor League One lads.
Yeah.
Just stamping them, we were already dead.
What's that line in 1984? A boot on the face of on a human face forever. That's what it felt like. A boot stamping on a human face forever.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop, he's already dead.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video of Colwell? Because obviously Pep's in the stand somewhere, so his assistant, who's also called Pep, makes the substitution.
Yes, I've seen it, yeah.
Now, we don't actually know if Colwell's talking about what's happening, but he turns back to his bench when they realise that Bernardo Silva and Jeremy Doku are coming on. Coming on for less experienced players, by the way. It's not like they've even taken off one of the experienced ones for another. He's upping the level of experience. And Colwell looks at the City bench and says, what the F's he doing?
Yes.
As in, well, this is beyond what's normally done.
Well, they don't normally do that.
No.
It's
but
kind of
not just
thing.
Manchester City, all football teams.
Well,
if it gets one, I'm going to save our players.
That's how I'm choosing to look at it. That's why if that's why there isn't usually 10 goals scored in a match.
Yeah.
Because it does never happen. Then, yeah.
As an interested observer, putting aside all my feelings of horror and embarrassment, they could really play. Like, they could really play in a way don't think I've ever seen anyone really play. I was thinking about Suarez when he was at St James Park, and I thought, well, he can really play, but it was one bloke in a team of more ordinary players.
Oh, part of it was kind of a pleasure to watch, wasn't it? Because
just wish it wasn't us.
Amazing, yeah,
amazing. So that's how 10-1 happened. They were brilliant. They're brilliant players. We're good League One players, and we weren't brilliant on the day.
We were disastrous on the day.
And they just kept going for it. We weren't disastrous. I've seen us play worse and get a 0-0 draw.
Well, that's true, yeah, probably. There was actually some decent performances, I'd say. I thought Liam Oakes was brilliant.
Yeah, I think Niskanen worked really hard.
Niskanen was okay. Luca Woodhouse, I thought he had a good game.
Yeah.
You know...
So, we play
Whitworth,
League One, you get away with it.
Whitworth had an off day,
which
is not what you need when you're playing against some of those lot.
When they're shooting from 30 yards.
Well, I was when we haven't got to this point yet. What's his name? George Birch. The other day is recalled from his loan at Weston-super-Mare.
Yeah. He's disappointed at the time because Weston-super-Mare are still in the third round of the FA Cup, and I bet he's thinking,
"Oh, I would have played in that.
I would have played in that. Ah, really?"
So anyway, he's on the bench.
Suddenly, that feels a bit better.
He comes on, and then at 9-0, scores the best goal of the game.
Unbelievable! This is his first goal for City.
First professional goal, an absolute beaut. Kind of bears down on the penalty area, switches it onto his left foot, sees the little gap, and wallops it in.
Yeah.
Beauty.
And fair play to Man City. Most of the ground applauded. You can see,
easy to do that when you're winning.
I know it is. But I thought, that's nice. Nice for Birch. What he did that was ill-advised was then sprinted to pick up the ball out of the net.
Well, yeah, because one, I don't think we're going to pull it back.
No.
There's about 5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And two, take as long as you can. They're on 9.
Yeah.
And then I've always had ironically had this thing in my head about 10 goals in a match.
Yeah.
Because it never happens.
Yeah.
And because I saw Man United beat Ipswich, not in person. I really remember Man United beating Ipswich 9-0 in about 1995, 96, whatever that was. And I remember thinking, wow, it blew my mind at that point. 9-0. And then I remember thinking, would we see a 10? And it's kind of, it has never happened. You know, and you kind of always look out for it. Whenever teams getting battered, you think, will they score 10? I've kind of always noticed it.
Yeah.
And then, so when we got that goal, and then they started again, and they thought, and it seemed to spur them on to try and get a 10th. And Jeremy Doku picks up the ball on the left-hand side, and he's kind of, thinking, I want to get involved here. And I'm just screaming at Niskanen to foul him. I don't mind losing 9-1. I don't mind getting battered. I was just thinking, please, not 10.
Yeah.
Just not 10.
Yeah.
It will be newsworthy.
Yeah.
Like, we got off the hook a bit because of Macclesfield beating the Holders.
Yeah.
In terms of news headlines or whatever. But just for the sake of not having it on our
permanent record.
Like, I just not 10. Just do anything. Just get sent off. Hoof the ball out of the ground. Just continually boot it out for a throw. Just do anything. Do anything mental. Just to stop it. And they didn't. And Niskanen just let him. I'm not having a pop at Niskanen for letting Doku think, but he just waltzes past him and then just like.
I do feel like we were always going to lose. We were always going to get battered. Sweeney and Macmillan, I don't think, are letting us get battered 10.
I don't think it could do any harm to have had them in there.
No.
Because there's not a huge amount of experience there.
No.
McGuinness comes on at half-time.
Does his best, but what can you do?
That ain't going to help, is it?
No.
McGuinness is too... I like the guy, and I think he's been a decent player for us, but he's too slow getting into the box. I'm not going to pop at him about the Man City game, really. But, if you have any chance at all, the way we've been scoring recently is Niskanen pelting it as fast as he can down the wing and crossing it early to an on-rushing Jayden Wareham.
Yeah.
There's no on-rushing happening for McGuinness at this point in his career. But, like I said, I got no criticism for any of the individual players particularly.
Oh, I'm not going to kick them while they're down.
Not going to kick them while they're down. Whitworth yeah, could have done better for some of those goals. It's a
10-1
shame.
is a shame.
10-1,
9-1 felt like, okay, all right.
I wouldn't have even cared. I wouldn't have cared one bit. I'd just gone, yeah, it's a good laugh. It was like, good day out, whatever.
I blame
we got
myself.
battered. 10, it did just change something for me into think of like, oh, this is embarrassing.
Didn't
now.
even fit on the scoreboard.
You look at anything you look at, it doesn't look right.
No.
When you see it, it's like it's jarring.
It looks like a cricket score.
It pops out. Yeah.
You think, oh, England have started badly again.
Yeah, it's rugby.
You think it's rugby? You can't get 1 in rugby.
But you can get 2 5s. Oh, you can't get. No, you can get 10, but you can't get 1.
Yeah.
Can you not get 1?
No.
What about foul?
No, I don't think so.
There's no way of getting 1 in rugby.
No, I think it's
That's
3.
part of the reason I hate rugby. What, you can't get 1? What if one thing happens? No, it's never.
No, that's a 3.
1.
You get a 3 or 2.
What?
No,
Absolutely.
it's 5 and 3, isn't it? And then I think in rugby league it's 4 and 2. Don't know.
Even the fact that there's 2 different versions of the same sport.
Sure, annoying.
Embarrassing. If you like rugby, stop listening to this podcast now.
Wow. Don't blame rugby fans for us losing 10-1. That's not on them.
I'm looking to divert the
good.
some of this stuff elsewhere.
So it was 10-1. The game finished. The support were...
The problem is, when we draw a big team again in, however, maybe another 20 years,
Yeah.
I'm going to have PTSD.
Fair enough. I mean, you look at other games. So I think Portsmouth were playing Arsenal, weren't they? And that was 4-1.
Yeah,
And it was away at
Madueke
Portsmouth.
missed a penalty.
Right. So 4-1. But you look at the team, you're like, well, Arsenal was like, really, it's 25% starting 11.
Yeah.
That's the difference, isn't it? There were several disadvantages.
Palace put out a pretty strong team, though, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, but Palace aren't the same as the top 5. Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, they always win, basically. I know Argyle managed to beat Liverpool, but generally, they've got such a big squad and such excellent players, there's no stopping them. Like, it's very, very rare these days, isn't it?
Yeah, at home.
At theirs, definitely at theirs. So then you get like the away factor. Now Arsenal are in such good form and such kind of good manager with big squad. They were never losing to Portsmouth, but I'd imagine they felt it was a difficult enough game. But us at the Etihad with that starting 11, it was always going to be a disaster for us.
Yeah.
Always was. And
Absolutely accept a disaster. It's only the 10.
Yeah, I get that.
It's my only complaint.
if we got 6-1, I would have thought good result.
Oh, yeah. Could
7,
have
you're
gone
like-
either way.
Yeah. We got them there for a minute. They were worried. I can say this as a fact. They were not worried.
They were only worried about scoring as many goals as they possibly could.
Not getting to 10 was their main concern. Anyway, there it was. Anyway, end of the game. Most supporters stayed. Some supporters left and missed George Birch, which I feel sorry for them for. I get why they left. You're a very long way from home. And that
What's the point leaving?
I don't know. Maybe if you got small children or you're
Yeah.
absolutely freezing, or
Yeah, but- yeah.
I know. I can see why people did. I think that's a shame. At 9-0, I get why someone would be like, I've had enough.
Yeah, but you've gone all that way.
You've gone all that way.
What were you expecting?
Anyway, there it is.
I'll tell you what I did like.
Yeah.
Which the one thing I could look at the Etihad and think we should get that at St James's
Oh, yeah.
Park is those pint machines.
Oh,
I don't even have a pint at
Quick, were
half-time
they?
at the football. But I think we haven't got any room for any kiosks. That Jungle Path bit at the big bank.
yeah.
You get all those people, some people are missing half the game just to get a pint. Now, I've got questions about those people as well, but just don't come. Just go to the pub. Clearly not that interested. But if they had some of those pint machines,
Yeah.
it'd be a lot easier and they don't take up
What
as
do
much
they do?
space.
Just pour it really quickly.
They're small and they're unmanned.
Oh. Oh, right. Okay.
I mean,
We put in a fiver and it gives you a drink.
yeah.
Oh, right.
I mean, someone's got to change the barrel at some point, I suppose.
Interesting. I missed that. What was the food like? You had some chips?
Good chips.
Yeah.
Reasonably priced food, I think, generally.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Anyway, at the end of the game, they all come over and clap. I think they would have felt supported. I think they knew it was a very difficult situation. I think they knew they could have been better, but I think they would have felt supported
Yeah.
by the 8,000.
Yeah.
I mean, 8,000 is amazing. I was thinking about it, like,
It is
This
amazing.
isn't Wembley. This isn't like a final. This is us going to get thumped. 8,000 people.
Yeah. Half of them Gorpers.
No,
They were.
some Gorpers.
It's an absolute Gorp fest. Those people, will go all the way to Manchester
Yeah.
to go to that,
Yeah.
which, as I've already outlined, is worse than going to the football.
Well, yes.
From a kind of personal experience level, unless you're just so wowed by big things and, pint machines that you like, just to go, you went all the way to Manchester to watch that, but you wouldn't go to...
You're not there on Saturday for Stevenage.
You wouldn't go to watch an Exeter City match in your own town.
You've got a chance
for
to win.
less money, and it's a better experience that you actually might win and be competitive in. I do find it annoying.
No, I get what you're saying.
Especially when, and I'm not a away traveller. Over the years, I go to one or two a season. I'm not putting myself in that bracket of supporter. But the week before, hardly anyone went to Huddersfield.
No, indeed.
Hardly any of them, and that's expected.
Yeah.
But then for 8,000 to go to Manchester, which is the same place.
Well, yeah.
Gawpers.
Anyway, I think, ignoring the Gawpers, there was lots of enthusiastic support from actual supporters.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 10-1. That's on our minds forever.
Yeah, never forget that. Won't be able to.
10-1.
Won't be able to.
10 goals. Okay, well, we'll talk about what's coming. We'll move on. I think that's all we can do, innit?
We have to move on.
We'll talk about what's coming up in a minute. Welcome back to the Big Bang Theory podcast. Thanks for emailing in if you have done. Mark's been going through our old episodes. He's just got something like Gloucester Services apparently, promising us a fennel sausage if we meet him there. Sorry, Mark, didn't see you. We didn't stop at Gloucester, we went to Strensham like everyone else.
That's on the way back.
That's on the way back. Where did we go on the way up? Kiel.
We did Gordano and Kiel.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Which is a bit more my speed, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't like a Gloucester, do you? As we've often covered. Our friend Ollie went there.
I
What did he
hate it.
buy? Some mad crap.
Ciabatta, onion, bhaji and black pudding Scotch egg.
I don't know which one of those words is the thing.
I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it.
No. Why would you?
Um,
That's madness.
Yeah.
Like, what did they do? Serve it on a velvet cushion, Ollie?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
You enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it as your servant dabbed the corners of your mouth. Get a grip, man. Have chips like the rest of us. I felt too fancy having a Leon.
Yeah, that was a bit beyond the pale, wasn't it?
Was, but it was nice. Anyway, there we are.
Yeah.
We'll never talk of it again now. Let's park that story.
We will. There's no point promising that.
No,
we will.
I won't promise it. What I will promise is that I'm ready to move on, and Saturday brings Stevenage
Yeah,
to
look.
James Park.
I had this theory that Gary Colwell was playing 4D chess all along.
Tell us more.
Well, in his interview, he's basically sort of said after the game, he's going to go into the players, look, that's how it's done. They've absolutely humiliated us there. That's how you do it. We've got to be like that. If we can take anything, if he can harness that. I liked how he did it. I liked his interview after the match.
Yeah.
I thought he faced up to the situation, and I thought it was solid. I thought it was dignified. And in the past, losing by your club's record defeat might have swayed my opinion slightly on a manager.
Yeah.
It hasn't done with Colwell. I'm still very much on side.
Yeah.
And I think he probably can get them to use this. And I hope that now we become a version of that Manchester City team.
Yeah.
And we take that and we kind of, absorb it into ourselves, and then we go out and maybe we won't beat Stevenage 10-1, but I'd like to see us kind of take some of that influence. Again, back to a band comparison, sometimes you might get the opening act on the bill, supporting a bigger band, and you might see them and you go like, that's how it's done.
Yeah.
And you go, and then you change a few things about your band.
Yeah.
And then it propels you on to stardom.
Sure. I mean, if we hammer Stevenage...
Mick Hucknall, of course, was at that Sex Pistols gig.
So they say.
In Manchester Free
So
Trade Hall.
that's a flaw in your argument, I'd say.
Well, he was very successful.
Yes, he was. Let's say that City do indeed batter Stevenage. We'd think like, yeah, good. wouldn't we? Like we think, like, you've done that. That is job done.
Yeah.
Obviously, the danger is they're so like downtrodden by this experience that the league form drops away.
Yeah.
I think Stevenage at home is a perfect kind of thing for us. We're good at home. The home crowd will be supportive.
It is the perfect. You
Stevenage
can't really
out of
think
form.
of a better
No.
match to have after this, can you?
And Stevenage done nothing to be feared. I know they've had some good parts of the
No,
season.
but neither are they team to be complacent about. So
No.
it's not like they're, Port Vale in a terrible run of form or something.
We have to play properly.
We have to do this properly. There are no pushovers.
Yeah.
But I do think it's kind of pretty perfect, yeah. And I think he can do it. I think he can. I think they will be. I don't think it'll affect them. I think they've got a good mentality, the team. I can't see it. I can't see it affecting them enough. I think they'll be wanting. I think they'll be hungry.
Yeah.
To put that behind them and to show the fans that's not who we are.
Yeah.
That's Man City in full force. That's not full force, but I think I'm looking forward to it, and I think we'll. I expect a response.
Absolutely. So Stevenage are in bad form at the minute, aren't they? I know they were top of the league. They were racing away, weren't they, at some point?
Yeah, they've definitely dropped off a bit. Like they're no mugs,
No, it's a good team. They're still top half of the table.
Who've they got up there at the minute? I know they've still got Jamie Reid. Who's managing them these days?
Dan, that's a good question that I wish I'd looked up in advance of this. I was too busy thinking about Manchester City. So Stevenage are now down to 8th.
They haven't won in the last 5.
Yeah, that's right. Jamie Piergiani's been there a long time, hasn't he?
He has, yes.
One of their defenders. They've also got everyone's favourite name, Saxon Early.
Oh, of course. It's Alex Revel as the manager.
Yeah, that's right. So
Don't know anything about him.
I think this was his first club, wasn't it?
Heir to the Revels fortune, no doubt.
Surely.
Yeah.
Which one? I don't think I ever have Revels. Chocolate, like Maltesers, but with different things inside.
One of them is a Malteser, in fact.
Okay.
It's a little bag of chocolates, and then you don't know which one it's going to be.
Yeah.
Could be. I think the options there are. What can you get in there? There's a coffee one, isn't there?
That's right. I have had them.
Is there a raisin?
Yeah, I feel like there's a raisin.
Right.
So that's him, is it? That's Alex Revel.
Yeah,
he makes them when he's not managing the football team.
No, I think his family made them historically, and now he's, just obviously he'll inherit that, and that's he's got a tidy sum awaits him. But in the meantime, he's managing Stevenage Borough. Stevenage. The age of Stephen.
How old is Stephen?
Who is Stephen? Who was the original Stephen, and how old is he?
Who was the original Stephen? Who's the earliest? There was King Stephen, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Who wasn't really king. Nicked it off Matilda.
Right. Is he of Stephen of the Feast of Stephen?
I don't know. That must be. Oh, maybe he is. What was he? 12th century King Stephen, 13th.
That's your area of expertise, isn't it? I don't know.
It's known as the Anarchy because no one knew who was in charge of England.
Right.
There's about 20 years where different bits were. I think it was a bit like whoever came knocking, you'd say like, "Oh yeah, you're our king, you're our queen," and then they'd go, and then when the next one came, you'd be like, "Oh no, we've always liked you. You're the best one."
Really?
Yeah, I think so. So it's called the Anarchy.
Well,
the first
let's
Stephen?
assume it's him.
Oh no, well it was Stephen in the. Stephen was the first Christian martyr in the Bible. So that's
so there's a Stephen in the Bible.
Stephen
is
in the Bible. That's first century. Was there Stephen before that? Don't know.
Wow.
Stephen Seagal older than all of them, probably.
Maybe Stephen King. He's knocking on a bit.
Yeah.
Any young? Very ironically enough, very few young Stephens.
Stephen Pienaar.
Yeah,
He was at Everton, wasn't
how
he?
many?
It's not a name.
You've got young children.
Yeah.
I bet there's not one Stephen in either of your children's classes.
No Stephens, no Richards, no Johns.
No.
No.
It's sad.
He'll come back.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, I know I've probably peddled this theory before, but you should be calling your kids, if you're expecting a kid anytime soon, you're listening to this,
Yeah.
you should be calling your kid those kind of names, because they will come back around, and then when your kid will be sort of 16, 17, they'll have the coolest name going,
Yeah.
and it will be Gavin or Wayne, because you've got to predict the trends.
Yeah.
I was working at
I can't see Gavin coming back.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have thought that the name
No, that's right.
Reginald would come back.
No, yeah,
or
there's
whatever.
Reggies, aren't there?
But they're everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't move for them. You can't move for Archies. But when I was in school, not one.
Yeah, no, you're quite right. Okay.
What are we talking about? Stevenage. Yeah,
Right,
Stevenage.
Stephen's age, yeah. So we
Alex
don't know.
Revel
Yes.
used to play for Cardiff and amongst other people.
Didn't he play for Stevenage and then become player manager?
Don't know, seems like it. Yes. But this is his second spell.
Right, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
So he went away and then he's...
Was it
maybe
Steve
that
Evans?
was maybe that was caretaker or something.
Oh, maybe.
It was Paul Tisdale after that.
Oh, he was
potentially.
before Tisdale, was he?
I don't know.
Talking of Tisdale, he's looking for a job again.
Yeah.
It's not working out at Celtic. I mean, when I thought when he had gone there, I thought, oh, he's like in Brendan Rodgers' like staff team. You know, he's one of 8.
No. He's a football doctor. That's what they were calling himself.
What was his actual job title?
Sort of, almost like kind of director of football, I think. Well, it wasn't actually that, but essentially it was that.
How has he got that job? And I mean, I now know how he's got out
Well,
of
the
that
man
job.
talks a good game, doesn't he?
So he appointed Wilfred Nancy.
Yeah,
Is that his name?
yeah.
Is he American or was he just working in America?
No idea.
And he brought them into Celtic. And
Well, he obviously has convinced Celtic to hire this bloke, and
Yeah.
he's just like,
and it's been an absolute disaster.
yeah. And then he's gone, and so's Tisdale now.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, I always think of Tisdale when I think of Stevenage, obviously because he managed there, but also because that was the famous hand signal was given to us fans.
Well, you didn't see it, and you were there, so I don't know why you're claiming it as fact.
But I did see Perryman try and calm us all down.
Yeah.
Anyway, Stevenage. If we can get a win at Stevenage, home against Stevenage, I'm just thinking, yeah, that was just a thing that happened to us. That was a separate thing entirely,
Yeah. Well, it was.
and it was.
It still would have been if we won it.
Well, yeah, that's true as well.
That was a sideshow, little distraction. This is a real quiz.
In the words of Jay-Z, we're on to the next one.
Yeah.
Then we're a couple more Saturdays, aren't we? And then we've got a Reading in the evening. So it's 1 game weeks for a while,
Yeah.
which is a relief, to be honest.
Yeah. It's calmed down a bit. Christmas kind of holds all the Christmas stuff's out the way. The big game, the big ticket game is out the way. That's all done. From here on in, it's just plain old, boring League One.
Stay in League One.
For the rest of it, and stay.
In other words,
No more Gorpers.
well, but there is some other news.
Oh, there is, yeah. Club news.
Club news, or rather former club employee news. Joe Gorman has tried to tell his side of the story through a pretty lengthy...
Well, he has told his side of the story.
Yeah, right. He has told his side of the story through a pretty lengthy Twitter release. X.
Yes. X, which may soon be banned.
Yeah.
The powers that be.
Yeah. So...
Hey, Grok. Put Joe Gorman in a bikini.
Don't do that, Grok.
No, we wouldn't do. We would never do that to anybody, let alone you, Joe.
So Joe's written... He's tried to tell his side of the story, hasn't he? Through trying to correct some stuff that's happened, kind of make some stuff known that wasn't known before. It's a very long statement, and we're not going to go through it all now. There's a few kind of things that are worth talking about.
Yeah.
A, he's been banned from the ground, and so have his family.
Yeah.
Which is very extreme.
Seems harsh.
If that's true, that's harsh as anything. Thing 2, yes, he did authorise the La Manga payments, but they were in chunks. That meant it didn't go over the threshold. So he's saying that was justified and allowed within the rules. Thing 3, the gardening leave and the investigation seems to have been, this won't shock anyone, an absolute mess.
Yeah.
And he's definitely been treated poorly. Whatever's happened, it's not a transparent and thorough process. It sounds like...
It sounds as messy as we expected it to be the whole time, really. He's entitled to have his say. I'm glad he has. He's
also entitled to a fair employment process.
Absolutely. And if that hasn't been the case, then we don't know. And the trust, to be honest, and this is will spark speculation, and and whatnot, and he's perfectly entitled to give his side of how things went down. And because they've not been the trust board and the club board, whoever, have not been clear with everyone about what's happened, they've put themselves in this position, and they've invited on this questioning from supporters. Well, that's what did you expect?
Yeah. So
given that this is what the situation, the model we've got, supporter-owned thing, you can't act with impunity like you could if you were a independent private company. They can do what they want. They're putting their own money in. These people aren't. And I'm not suggesting they've done anything wrong. We don't know because they won't say. There's plenty of things addressed in these things. There's still a lot that's not been addressed.
Yeah,
we still don't know how particularly we got into the financial mess we're now in, which resulted recently in us begging Man City for a load of ticket money, and also the new chair, the head of the club board, saying we might not make it to the end of the season, essentially.
Yeah. So there is another investigation, another report's
endless investigations and reports which we never see.
So there is word that we're going to see the next one, but let's wait and see.
There's a trust board meeting tonight, which, if you fancy logging in, if you remember, you can do. I wouldn't expect to get a huge amount of answers, but I'm not suggesting that's anyone there's fault. It's just the way it seems to go.
Yeah.
No one seems able or willing to give the answers.
We're assuming that some of this money from Saturday will help some of our problems. We're now, what are we now? January the 12th. No more sales of players yet. I mean, I tell you, the only person who's likely to be sold after Saturday's performance is George Birch. Like, there would have been a concern. Macclesfield, for example, will be concerned that some of their best players will now be on the radar of some bigger clubs. That's not going to be a concern for us.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure. I think the days of the shop window are kind of
probably
over. To be honest, that they operate on a much more sophisticated basis. They're like, I'd never heard of Exeter City before, and I saw him play at Manchester City the other day, and I thought he looks good. We'll buy in.
Yes,
it's not really how it works anymore.
Of course not. No, but no one's been sold yet.
I'm not sure why my fictional scout there was.
No, he would know.
Was from Devon.
No, we've never heard of Exeter City.
Yeah.
We're now going to buy them all.
Brian Clough scouting now. That's from Beyond the Grave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the window remains open, no sales yet.
Not yet. We wouldn't expect much activity yet, I suppose. I don't think the market's been moving a huge amount in League One.
We don't expect us to buy anyone till the end, but there have been times in the past where they've identified a player and they've got him as soon as the window's open. So
does that happen? I suppose it does.
Yeah, it does. Not us. We're always,
But do we ever lose anyone at the beginning?
Sure, we have.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, Andrew Olorabori has returned to us from his loan at Yeovil Town.
Yes, yeah. And then presumably Birch is now back in the squad. I don't assume we're loaning him out again, are we?
I don't know.
No. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on it all, of course. We'll be back next week. Unless we get beaten 10-1 by Stevenage, then I'm having a few weeks off.
Yeah.
That's fair, isn't it?
I think that's probably fair.
Yeah.
And then if that happens, yeah.
But I'm optimistic it won't be 10-1 on Saturday.
Well, it might be 10-1 on Saturday, but we'll be on scoring 10.
Good.
Like I said.
That's the spirit.
We're going to be copying some of that good stuff Man City showed us how to do.
We'll be annoyed that Stevenage scored one.
Oh, he strings his guitar like that. I'm going to do that. Next thing you know, you're number one.
Did you see, talking of number ones, Liam Gallagher's response?
He did.
Yeah.
I initially wasn't sure if he was taking the piss.
No, I don't think so.
But I don't think he was.
So someone tweeted him and said, I presume it was about the...
well, he'd originally, I think, tweeted saying Biblical FC.
Right, yes, good. And
I mean, for once, he's always saying things are biblical. This is probably the first time I'd say it sort of fits.
Right, sure. Apart from that time Noel turned water into wine.
Noel Edmonds, maybe.
Oh, yeah. So someone tweeted him and said, shouldn't have given up that goal, though. Crying emoji. Right, get over it. To which Liam Gallagher's replied, it was a top goal and Exeter are a top team. So let's take that to the bank.
Thanks, LG.
You know, around grounds, they have quotes, don't they, quite often? There's one at Spurs of like what someone said about what football should be. Or who
Oh
Spurs
yeah,
are.
they used to have a bunch up written on the walls in the centre spot.
Did they?
I feel like they had
Or
like
what people
quotes.
said about football?
I know, just general sort of quotes about City. Or
Oh, right.
something
Oh,
along
okay. Well, that's a good one, isn't it? It was a top goal next to a top team. Get it on the wall.
Write it on the wall. Or make a banner or something.
Make a banner.
They
Okay.
could have it along the front, like they do. They do the banner along the front of the big bank along the thing.
They didn't take our suggestion last time, did they?
You make me sick.
You make me
Yeah.
sick, aimed at Argyle. So we'll have this instead.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone. It's a very long episode. We'll be back next week, of course.
For a shorter episode.
Shorter episode.
Yeah.
Less goals to talk about, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll do part 2 of what we think of the new Morrissey single.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, not much. Thanks for listening. My name's Jonathan, my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.